Good evening and welcome to Flux Motorsport TV. You are here this evening with Lecky_2000 for the very first in our 2020 Season 1 Championship for our GT1 Championship. So today you join us at the Portimao circuit in the what is normally the very sunny Algarve in Portugal. However, today it's looking a little bit soggy here in the Algarve, so it looks like we are going to get a out and out wet race for you. The guys are currently just going around here in qualifying. So as we finish up our qualifying session here at the Autodromo International de Algarve circuit, Lingabazinga comes across the line in first place, Lil God in second place, Snarling Bongo in third place, Immortalis comes up in the Zepanol livery in fourth place, Jelma or Martin 65 as you know him in fifth place, Profubby finishes well though, but not an improvement on that lap time in sixth spot. Destroyer, one of our newer members of the community, having a decent start in seventh place. Ben Ballard, which we didn't really see much of in qualifying, again in a similar liver to Profubby, slightly different numbers, but certainly not teammates, in eighth. Dirk Diggler coming up in ninth place. Murphy in 10th. Green Gaming in 11th place. Jack Demens in 12th. Blank Foul comes up in 12th place, so a little bit slower than Profubby actually in practice. And Survivor coming up in 14th place, with Giacomo and TC Thrasher finishing up our grid. But I think that's it in terms of the time for our drivers now. We're just about to get the lights on here, so the lights are on here at Portimao, and we are go for the first of our GT1 race. It looks like they've all got away fairly cleanly, and also no spins off the line, but it is about 4 or 5 wide through into turn 1 for second place. Lingabazinga does get away into first place. It looks like Snarling Bongo just coming up into second place, but Immortalis on the inside. So Lil God has dropped all the way back down to 6th place. Jelma making his way up to 4th place, and Profubby making his way up to 5th. And looks like Profubby has just squashed Jelma there on the inside. And he's down to contact, so it looks like contact there with Profubby. And we are sort of 4 wide now as we come down the back straight. So that's Destroyer just at the head of that pack in the green and white livery, and Blank Foul goes and makes contact there with what I think was Jack on the inside, but sends him off track. So all action here in lap 1 at Portimao circuit. And as he just starts to get things settled, Destroyer coming there through into 9th place, but certainly all sorts of action down here at the back. Survivor managing to come through in 10th. TC Thrasher came all the way up from 14th place into 11th, so he's got a great start out of that battle though. It looks like Lingabazinga, Immortalis and Snarling Bongo have got away fairly cleanly, but Snarling Bongo is all over the back of Immortalis now. As they come to the last corner, you can just see the sun peeking through the clouds, but I don't think that's going to affect the weather forecast too much. It looks like the skies are still fairly overcast, and the weather's going to keep coming down here. So if they think they're going to get any reprieve, they've got another thing coming. And Snarling Bongo is right up in Immortalis' rear end, and as he makes a move down the outside. So that is a brave manoeuvre to try and go down the outside there. Trying to go for the cutback, but not going to get it into pre-air into turn 1, as he comes through now in turns 2 and 3, which is Lagos just before as he comes up this tricky left-hander as the car tries to kick out, and again you get puddles forming here. As they come onto the straight here, after Lagos up all the way down into the massive hill into Torre Vip, so wanting to lock up here. Really tight there, it looks like he does lock up a little bit there on the outside, Snarling. But a great battle here for second place. But it does look like the guys just behind them are bunching up, so we've got a battle forming up just behind these two, with Lil God, who's worked his way back up now from 6th place up into 5th, and he's challenging for 4th place off Martin 65, or Jelma as you might know him, in that panel. So the panels is doing better here, as is that Snarling Bongo going round, and there's contact there as well, collateral damage. The guys just try and make a manoeuvre round. That's Murphy just trying to get the front end of that silver Merc out the way, and Murphy takes a manoeuvre round Lil God, around Steve as we call him, and he's not quite able to make it stick. Steve fighting back on the outside there, but I think Murphy's just going to about have him on the run, unless the extra legs on that panels can just try and get in. It has indeed, it's just got him in front, but don't forget that Toyota's just behind, and the speed that Jack's got in that Toyota is unrivaled in this category. just move down the grid a little bit further, it looks like we have got a battle in between TC Thrasher and Survivor. So TC Thrasher and Survivor, both guys from the United States, recently joining Flux Motorsport and the GT1 championships, but no love lost it for their counterparts from the same country here. As TC Thrasher goes through on the inside, as Survivor goes wide. So that is a safe rejoin as he comes back on track. But Ben Ballard just behind him there in the red and white CLK livery. And that's a little bit wide there actually from TC Thrasher, so taking futuristic lines here to try and defend from all that raw power that Survivor's got. And will you see him try and take a manoeuvre down here into the last? He does indeed. So again, that raw power that under the Toyota, just about managing to make it stick on the inside. Great braking there from Survivor, managing to get that manoeuvre done. As Destroyer comes down on the inside, and that's Jack going a little bit wide, so the Toyota really struggling there. Again, he's going to struggle with the front wing. You've essentially got to set the car up as a wing in order to get any sort of front end aero on it, and be very delicate with the rear end as Destroyer comes on the inside. So great manoeuvre there, and not managing to make it stick. So Jack then coming back on the inside, so real cat and mouse here with these two drivers. Jack looks like he's got a run coming up into the back straight, but always a difficult turn as we see Destroyer just getting the car a little bit squiggly there. Jack and Destroyer still battling this out, so Destroyer seems to have been able to come through that pack pretty much unscathed. Set a reasonable qualifying mid-pack, and he's just about to put that manoeuvre on Jack. He tries to get it done on the inside though, but Jack defends hard and just shuts the door on him at the end. But they've both gone wide, so both these guys pushing really hard. And this is going to end one way. Both these guys keep pushing at 101%. It's going to end in tears, which unfortunately we won't be able to see because it's way too wet here today. Currently a battle for what is 8th place, and it could be anybody at this stage. So Destroyer just about holding the rest of these guys off just at this stage. But Snelling, Bongo, Survivor, Ben Ballard and Dirk Diggler all in the background. It was that Dirk Diggler just putting a move there on Ben Ballard, I think it was, and he has made that stick. So the hairpin looks like it's the place to make the manoeuvre. It does look like there's grip on the inside of that corner there, and if the guys keep using it, that track will only dry out further. We're still going hard here for this battle for what is now a battle for 7th place, as these guys have been catching back up to TC Thrasher that's just in there in the silver panels that you can see in front. So Destroyer really making moves, inroads now on the inside, again on that hairpin, but he goes way too wide. That potentially is going to be a racing incident, a miscalculation there. No contact, he does give the position back, and that allows TC Thrasher to go through, but Snelling Bongo nipping through on the inside there, and making the most of that mistake there from these guys, and doesn't look like he's going to be looking back. Just going back up with our leaders here. Again, this battle for 3rd place, so Immortalis, Logod and Martin 65 all battling it out here. Immortalis looks like he's got potentially half a second's worth of gap, and he's just trying to maintain that distance, as Martin's got to deal with Little God here, and we all know that Little God can be an absolute nuisance when he gets behind you. Great lines and very barely relents. John will be conscious of that. I think he's raced them a couple of times so far into some of these practice sessions, and you've kind of got to measure it for the opposite man that can feel for where they should push and where they shouldn't. These two obviously able to race clean here, and Little God trying to make a move down the inside. They're just coming into there. He does make that stick, no contact there, but certainly a bold manoeuvre from Little God. Not able to keep it onto the outside there. I think John was just going to get him if he manages to get traction onto the inside, and he's not, so that was pushing a little bit too hard there. Forcing manoeuvre from Martin 65, and Little God makes his way through. So great driving there from Little God. John will be upset with himself there for letting himself make that mistake. That was classically done. A great racing manoeuvre there. And hard now on the brakes into the hairpin. Again, trying to avoid the puddles that you can see just forming there on the inside. Not been too played with puddles though, but they are going to start to form up now as the cars are a little bit more spaced out. And Dirk Diggler and Murphy there looks like they're just about having a battle, getting into battle behind there. So a battle for 7th place that is just formed up. So Murphy not done with this yet, as these two have been slowing each other down. Murphy's been slowly but surely catching up onto these two. and it may be a three-way battle yet again before the end of this race. But back over to our battle for 5th spot, and Murphy has definitely joined this now, so the indicators coming up on the timing board that this is now a three-way battle within a second of a half, and certainly within the draft zone. So Murphy now benefiting from a 2-car draft. And Jack sliding now coming into the hairpin, which is going to allow better traction from the both Mercedes behind, and all Murphy's got to do is just wait this out now, wait for a mistake from these two. They are making minor mistakes, but nothing big enough to try and separate them, either of them. And just another tag there from Snarling Bongo, so that could be another one for the stewards' inquiries there. Certainly looks a little bit harder in this instance, and Murphy now trying around the outside, so potentially a little bit of damage there. It's just made Snarling Bongo back off just a little bit, or think better of trying to go into it too hard to it, and potentially it's just made him come out of that battle just a little bit. Murphy going a little bit sideways himself there as he's got in front. And this might allow Jack to just get away as Murphy takes the puddle on the inside there, and a big 360 spin as that panels went round. Sorry, as the Mercedes went round. A huge spin. Did really well to catch it though, full 360 and caught it straight away. Didn't actually lose as much speed as he could have done. So a good catch there from Murphy, but just a little toe too much on the inside, and then Puddle's obviously getting deeper. And just going over to 10th place, and it looks like we've got a manoeuvre being put onto Dirt Diggler by Pro Fubby, so Pro Fubby making another manoeuvre there, and Dirt Diggler dropping down yet another spot, so it's been slowly but surely dropping down that order for Dirt Diggler. As Lingabazinga comes through onto Sagres for the final time. Great drive from Lingabazinga today, an absolute masterclass in how you drive in the wet. Outpaced every other car on track and coming in to put a nice steady 147 in his penultimate lap. So just coasted it through for the end. We do say the best drivers win, and win as slow as they can. He's certainly done that in the last couple of laps, and a great win there from Lingabazinga. So no change there for our champion. Lingabazinga again, our usual winner as we come to expect in first place. In second place we've got Little God, or as we know him as Steve. Immortalis comes up in third place. Martin 65, or Jelmer as we know him, up in fourth. Murphy in fifth place. Snarling Bongo in sixth. Snarling Bongo did get a 10-second penalty though. TT Thrasher up in 7th place. Jack de Menezes up in 8th, but with a 30-second penalty, so a huge whopping penalty there for Jack de Menezes. We'll have to ask him what went on there after the race. Prophobia up in 9th. Dirk Diggler in 10th, so Dirk Diggler dropping back down to 10th after getting all the way up to almost first spot in the race. Ben Billar coming up in 11th, Survivor in 12th, Destroyer in 13th, so Survivor getting the better Destroyer in that battle. Blackfile in 14th with a 10-second penalty, Green Gaming in 15th, and Giacomo finishing up the grid in 16th with a 10-second penalty of his own. So that's it for this week from our GT1s. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolutely outstanding battle in the rain here at the Algarve circuit, Portimao. We will see you for GT1 same time at 8 PM next week, next Thursday. But next after this race, we've got more championship action coming to you on Friday night with the GTEs, which will go out at 8 PM Friday night Eastern Standard Time in the US, or that is Saturday morning 1 AM UK time to you and me. So if you want to catch that action, be sure to tune in there. But from me and the rest of the guys at Flux Motorsport, thanks very much. Good night.